I met a gypsy.
Did you enjoy the discipline? Like once you kind of got the ball rolling with that side of things, did you enjoy that? And the runs were easy and the training was easy in school. I mean, school was probably easy just because you were a pretty switched on dude. But like, did you enjoy the regiment and the discipline that your dad sort of created for you? Because as a kid, it's pretty easy to resent that kind of regime in a way.
It was really interesting because from the time my dad made it very known very early. He's like, because one of my friends, we were like 10 years old, and he told his dad he went for a run. He ran around the corner and he stopped, and then someone saw him just like eating a popsicle around the corner, like waiting, 20 minutes to pour some water on and run back. My dad goes, I would be so happy if I ever found out you did that, because he goes, we wouldn't go to Florida. We wouldn't go. He goes, look,
make it easy
and
for us.
My mom is like, hey, look, you can't turn pro until you finish high school. She goes, she was so against homeschooling, but this is, fourth grade, she's telling me this. And this is, that's an early time for a kid, but she goes, look, you have to realize that we don't have the money to be putting in this. Your uncles, your family, like, we can't afford dirt bikes. We really can't. We're going, everyone else has motorhomes and trailers. We have a pickup truck and we're a blow-up mattress that we all camp out in, which was great. And they were happy to do it. But they said, look, you have to want to do this. And if you ever don't want to do it, don't feel any pressure from us. Like, this is just because you want to. So it wasn't, my dad was probably the only one that had slowed down. It was Justin Bucklew and I were racing 7-Eleven championship down in Gatorback, Florida. And we were both riding so far over our heads, like just gonna eat shit. My dad, so Justin's dad's like, you can let go. My dad's like, slow down. So as much of a military guy as he was, he's like, work hard for everything you can, but dude, we're doing this because you want to do it. Yeah. And he goes, the moment you say you don't want to do it, great. We're going to I'll work back I'll get a Harley. He goes, I loved on the weekends, I would do one day on a Harley and with your mom, and you little shit, you fucked that up for me. And I do one day on the boat. And that was what he did. And he goes, now we spend every weekend at the track. And he goes, I am happy to do it and I will work. So we used to drive to Florida on the weekends, fourth grade.
How far is Florida from where you were at?
14 hours.
Yep.
So my dad would pick me up. He'd take off work early, pick me up at 3 p.m. when school got off. We'd drive, 14 hours. You get there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, just in time to sign up. Race Saturday. He'd work on the bike all night Saturday night. Race Sunday. Him and my mom would drive all through the night. They dropped me off at 9 o'clock in the morning when we got to the school. And sometimes I was late. Usually came in bruised. Actually, child services came in. We're like, why is this kid always bruised and so tired? Dad's like, I don't know why he's tired. He sleeps the whole damn time. So, but at the end of the day, like that commitment now as a father of 2 girls, like, it'd be scary for them to do and to get to that level and to do that, what we do. But if they're half as passionate as their mom is, or Harry Bink, or any of the Nitro guys, or myself, at what they do, I think we've done a good job as a parent. And I have so much respect for my parents for literally sacrificing everything that they had. And not even, my mom was always like, oh, he's going to make it. My dad's like, every mom thinks that. We're doing this because you love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I raced motocross for, like, I don't know, same sort of thing when I was a kid, and we lived in Cairns, which is like rural, like you guys have done a show up there. Yeah. So like we drove from Cairns to Brisbane every second week to do a racing series. That's
a long way.
Yeah, so like Dad, same deal, like would leave work early on a Friday afternoon, getting in, rock up, we'd wake up, get ready, practice, ride, drive home, school, same deal. Yeah. And
I think it's that community, man. It
is like, and the bond that you build with your parents out of it, because I think that like true friendships and true I think that's why there's such a bond. It's obviously an over kind of, not overreach, over exaggeration of the situation, but like you find that like military guys are like brothers for life. And because when you're going through like something so hard and that person's like there next to you, or you fall behind and they pick you up, then it's like they're the people where you're like, oh, that's a real thing. And it's not when you are dedicating your life to something and there's injuries and there's all the extra shit that comes along with being a motocross kid. I think that if you have that story and you don't have the spoiled, because there's some spoiled little assholes out there that have everything. They
don't make it though, because at the end of the day, motocross is probably the toughest sport on the face of the earth. And if you don't truly want to be there, you can get good. It's like, you can get pretty good at almost any sport, but at the top,
Yeah.
Dude, what gets the champions is the guys that really, really honestly and truly dedicate everything. Everyone says, oh, you guys got paid really well. I'm like, dude, there's no amount of money. I don't care what anyone says. There's no amount of money that would make you work as hard as Ricky Carmichael worked, or as hard as any Dungey or any of these champions. And they didn't work because of the money. Like, they were able to work because they could take off of work and do it because of that. But what you don't see is the injuries. And everyone goes, oh, that's kind of what I was getting to earlier. Like, yeah, I'm going to be in the best shape of anyone out there. And that's so easy to say. And you know what? If we were doing CrossFit, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Harry Bink proves it.
Yeah.
He's the most fit. They, as a joke, hungover. They didn't even know there was money on the line. They did it for a press exercise. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be saying all this. They won Australian Spartan.
Yeah.
All right. Harry drove back in between because it was a party night that he was setting up at the 50-60 compound. He shows up completely hammered on the second day, and they were like literally 3 minutes into the course. They were 2 minutes ahead of second place. Like, and these are freestyle guys, not to be that guy, but like,
yeah,
people say, oh, I'm so fit, or I'm so whatever. And you look at the guys in motocross, you're like, oh, they're not that fit. They don't train that hard. You guys have no idea the amount of injury and sacrifice and everything that it takes to be the top of any sport, really. But you look at a sport that not only takes balls to go out there and be like, I could literally die if I mess this up, and I'm so tired I can't hang on.
Yeah.
And I see that guy in front of me, and I'm going to do a jump that I've never done at this condition when I'm like cross-eyed.
And you don't even think about it. It's not even a thought. You just send it.
You do it, and you take that risk, and you know how to fall. And when you hit the ground, my dad always said, when you hit the ground, he goes, you get up, you get on your feet, you get back on the bike, because you can't tell if you're broken until you stand up. And I did it at X Games. I landed, I stood up, and I heard everything crunch, and I fell down. I thought, my dad was right. You know when you're broken. But these guys are tough, man, and that's what it's underestimated. Anyone that's the top, I don't care what sport. It could be table tennis. If you're the best in the world at what you do, you've spent more hours than any amount of money is worth it to get there. But with motocross, you also put your life on the line. And when people say, oh, it's a life and death situation, most people are being metaphorically.
Yeah.
No, this is a life and death situation, especially even Nitro Circus. It's a show. Yeah, we got a snowmobile behind us, a four-wheeler in front of us. We got a guy to our right and a guy to our left. And like, as much as we party and have fun and everything, there was a guy that showed up first tour. A couple guys got hurt, so he showed up, and it's 2 nights in a row. After the first night, everyone kind of went out, had a few drinks. He had a few too many. He shows up and he's like, oh man, I didn't ride practice. I'm too drunk to ride. Yeah, blah, blah. Like, thinking he's being cool. Little Bilko, I mean, not little, but he's pretty scrawny little dude.
Yeah.
Grabs him by the neck, puts him up against the wall. He goes, you're done. You're not riding today.
Really?
And everyone kind of backed him up. They're like, well, he's like, well, I mean, I'm just really hungover. I don't feel like doing practice. He goes, if you don't feel like doing practice, if you don't feel like you can be at your absolute best, and you move over 3 or 4 feet to the right, 3 or 4 feet to the left, you miss your cue. And I have to live with the fact that I landed on you because you crashed your flip and whatever, or you crashed your flip and I land on you and I get hurt. He goes, this is a family. And as much as we mess around, this is our livelihood. It's our lives. And we are passionate about what we do. So if you can't drink, don't drink.
Yeah.
If you can't hold your own, whatever you do, know that when you show up on show day, everyone around you is not just hoping that you do a good job for you. They are trusting their life with you.
Yeah.
And it was really cool for me to see someone like Bilko, who's the class clown, to just step up.
He's the last person that you'd think would do that.
But Bilko, I'm not saying to the same extent as Brian, but Bilko's very smart. He knows exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. Some of the sponsors said, well, if you're not doing this event, we're not going to sponsor you. He goes, good. I just really want to hang out with my friends. And he goes, I want to go work for my dad and be home.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's okay. And he turned down the amount of money Bilko turned down to really be a part of Nitro Circus was something that, I mean, almost made me cry. Just like, man, these are my friends and this is what we're going to do. And it's see him and Cam Sinclair and all the guys, just how close they are. It's a rad little environment.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, GYPSYTales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.